Okay, today is May 9th, 2023. The time is 11:12. Let's start the meeting. All right, I guess first thing that we need to address is to appoint a vice chair. Who wants to be a part of that? Who wants to?
I'll volunteer.
Volunteer? Okay. We got motion. Motion.
I'll second the motion.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. This is vice chair. So that is set. Okay, the next thing, approval of minutes for March 14th, 2023. Anybody have any questions on, okay. Motion to approve?
I make a motion that we approve the minutes as they're presented.
Second.
Second. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? All right, motion approved. Okay. All right, review of March and April's 2023 financials. I'll turn that back over to you, Elizabeth.
All right, well, good morning.
Morning.
We do have March and April's that we need to go over this time since we did not have quorum last time. So if we want to start with March of 2023, we have a revenue of $14,986.90. This is from the food trucks and vendor sales that we've had so far. And then on the sponsorships, that's going to be from the egg hunt that we had in March. And then if we're going to move forward, the next sheet, if we look at the statement of activities for March, it states the same difference. The only thing different is on the firecracker fandango. You'll see a $1,000 increase. That's where we had a sponsorship come in. They've already paid their sponsorship for fandango.
Who was that?
I'm sorry?
Who was that for the 1,000?
It was walk-ons. Then if we go to the third sheet, which is the state of financial position, this one is going to show that we have two checking accounts. One is a money market account where we moved the 100,000 over, which left a balance of $119,015 with 86 cents.
Stop trying to cut us down on that price.
No, we need that. Apologies. So we still pretty much have the same amount. We just where we moved that 100,000 over for it to the money market. And then if we move on over to the one for, if we go to the state of activities by month for April, this one does show a negative of $7,572.80. This is where we wrote a check for $10,000 for the traffic boxes that we agreed to pay for the Odessa Arts, which is why you're seeing that negative. Now, let's see, on the next one, which is the state of activity by month. This one's showing we had the egg hunt. We had one of the sponsorships came in a little late, but they paid the $200. So you're seeing that even past that where we sent out a reminder and we're still collecting from there. We had Firecracker Fandango. The 400 would be two sponsors for the two vendors because we have that coming in. So we're slowly starting to see these vendors money coming in. And I think we'll probably see that probably even through August once we start sending reminders and things like that. And of course, the negative is where we spent that $10,000 from. And if we look at April's statement of financial position, you'll see that we actually gained $56.03 in interest once we move the money over to the money market. So there, that's what we wanted to see, right?
That's right.
Yes.
All right. Let's see, the state of financial position for, that's pretty much a recap of where we have the interest on that. Any questions on any of those for either month? I apologize, it is a lot to look at.
On the April of 2023, on that negative, where it shows us negative 2,078.50, is that in any way that
No, because overall, we still have a positive number in the total checking. This is just where it's breaking it down into the subcategories. That sort of leads us into where like the audit, that's just for the audit purposes, where we have the money coming in and we're assigning it to different funds and then also paying out on different ones. And that's where the next one here is also for the audit that was turned in by Ron Kirby, the CPA. Or did I skip ahead? I'm sorry. It is, okay, I skipped a little bit, but that's the next one that we have, so, it just shows where we're showing our pluses and our negatives according to each fund.
Okay, anything else? Anybody have any questions on the March and April financials? Okay, let's, move on to new business. Discuss partnering with KOB to purchase trash containers.
KOB is the Keep Odessa Beautiful. I met with Claudia and she stated that she had applied for a grant for some trash cans, but it wasn't a large grant. She hasn't done anything with it because she doesn't feel like it's enough to do. These trash cans are pretty pricey. She can only afford to buy 2 of them. And at that point, she didn't know where to place 2. So I told her, I said, I'd run it by everybody to see if maybe we wanted to go in and buy another 2, maybe we can have 4, maybe on one side of the street, on 4 corners, so that we can start adding trash cans little by little to downtown because they are pretty pricey.
Does she have an idea where she wants to put those?
We had spoken about where a lot of the complaints that we're seeing is from like the house, from the bar at night. So we were trying to concentrate in that area. I had suggested maybe putting 4 trash cans on the corners, so that I know we'd want to eventually put at least 3 per block, but if we could just start concentrating those 4 on a certain intersection where we have the most businesses now. Of course, as more businesses are opening, we're gonna have to expand that as well.
What type of trash cans are there that they're so expensive?
Right now, they're those aluminum ones with lids on them, which is what we have on 5th Street.
Narrowing down on the dimensions, so just like a typical.
Yeah, what size is it? How big?
The ones that I've seen, I believe they're just a regular
They're
old
just-
tin, yeah.
They're small.
So it's just just a standard,
It's just a
3 by 3
standard one,
maybe?
yeah.
really?
They're just
I mean,
metal.
that might be
Yeah,
something
it's
that
metal.
we would have to go in and do some more research about which ones we would prefer, so that we're in accordance with them. So I just wanted to reach out and see if that was something that y'all would be interested in. We could do more research, bring in pictures,
We gotta
or
keep-
if that's something that we don't wanna handle right now, is really my question for you now.
It's more keeping in mind those aluminum trash cans, if there's issues going on down there already, those trash cans are gonna end up getting damaged, knocked over, something like that if they're aluminum. I'm thinking more of a concrete type trash
Yeah,
can,
permanent
bolt,
basket.
permanent,
Yeah,
something,
Yeah.
either that or a basket type.
Yeah, the
They
basket
can't
type,
get moved either.
the
I mean,
basket type,
2
exactly.
out of 10 are gonna use it. You know,
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
there's a trash can there, they'll put it over here.
Right.
But my biggest deal is if we're gonna pay that much money, if they're that expensive,
Mm-hmm.
and we're replacing them once a month because somebody's damaging them, and that's just money down the drain.
So that might be something we wanna pause until we know
Yeah.
exactly.
We also have some issues with, bottles.
Yes.
We don't know if people are pre-gaming before they go into these bars,
Right.
but they're leaving bottles outside and everything. We do know that they've walked out with some of the glasses that belong to the house because they found them in John's business.
Yes, I've heard that.
So, we do need to address that with them and just kinda, maybe have a little talk with them, go, hey, look, some of your stuff is being snuck out of your bar and everything, and that's what's going on there. I mean, we have security at ours so that we make sure that nothing like that is happening. Can't catch everything, but, there's people that are bound and determined, and that's gonna happen.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure it's happened to us too. Yeah, a lot of that is happening. John is having quite a bit of glasses and bottles that are being left right there in his business. So they're walking out and they're finishing it off and they're setting it right there in front of.
Yeah, I've had the
this
same
place,
kind
so-
from the bookstore as well,
Yeah,
from right
so-
next door,
yeah,
so.
so-
Okay, so I just wanted to
Yeah.
sort of see what y'all's, how y'all felt about that, so that might be something that in the future we can maybe work with them again.
I think it's just gotta be something different, like Anthony said.
More-
Just,
okay.
Yeah, I
uh,
agree.
Do you know
what it
where
says.
at on Fifth Street? I can't remember.
I
Which one's
believe
it?
it's right in front of the Glitz and,
Like 6,
oh, that's on Sixth, isn't it? No, that's Fifth Street.
is it Fifth Street?
I don't recall, I'm so
Yeah, it
sorry.
might be, yeah.
I know they're on Fifth, but I don't exactly know the placement of them. So, okay, so I'll touch base with her again, maybe she can give me some pictures and dimensions of them as well, of which one she was thinking of, and then maybe we can collaborate with
And
her
real
later.
quick, who would pick up that trash?
That's something that we would have to speak with, the city for the parks as well. I believe they're the ones that do take care of those now, but it would be something that we would have to coordinate with them, because we're adding more trash cans for them to service.
That'd be something good to get their thumbs up on since they're.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Right.
Yeah, I really wanted to see the feel and see if y'all thought that was
I think
something
it's
we
a great
wanted to
idea.
invest in
I
and
think
move
it's something
forward.
we need.
We need, okay. All right, but I will work with them again and we'll get some more perspectives and dimensions and different options to see what we agree. Sounds good.
Any other questions on that, guys?
Nothing else on that one? No? Okay.
Mhm.
So moving forward, yeah, we have the review of the audit from Ron Kirby. I didn't include everything in y'all's packet, just, we do have it available if y'all want to read it. It just shows where the audit was requested. From what my research shows, it looks like we do an audit every few years. I know we do a tax return every year, but the audit looks like maybe every 2-3 years from what I can see. And so there was, the first one is where the request was made, and then the second sheet, the second set would be where they write the report.
Who made the request
I
for
have
the
some
audit?
request.
It looks like it came from Casey.
Okay.
Because it was back in November of last year.
So, I think generally most audits are done every couple of years. I
Yeah.
think every 4 years they do a much more detailed audit, with the.
Yeah, and that's what I could see. I didn't see an audit every year. I did see one about 3 years
I think it's
ago.
about every
Every
2
two,
years.
three-
but
yeah, okay.
yeah.
Yeah, and this is just looking through the files that I had there. So, if we look at the second page, on the fourth page, the only thing, when I read it, it just says that they have no knowledge of any fraud or suspected fraud in the, it talked about the, management, the employees, and, all this paperwork was turned in, I believe, if I'm not wrong. When did y'all turn that in December?
Yes, she started asking me for some extra things that were missing, in December, we gave that to, so it had to have been in November.
In
or
November.
October, cause in December, we gave them some extra items.
Okay.
So this was well underway when I stepped in February.
Do you know if she made that request in writing or if she just made a phone call? Do you know where?
I do not know where that request is. He pretty much, I got a call about 2 weeks ago and said, hey, y'all's audit is done. I said, okay. Good deal.
Good to know.
I've been waiting on that.
Yes, I was
Yeah, I was
waiting,
just
I
gonna
didn't
call
know I
you
was
about
waiting for
Yeah.
it. Every day's a little new for me.
Elizabeth, I think that's timely too with the changes that were.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's a good.
Yeah,
idea.
it's
Anyway,
very-
yeah.
Yeah, so it's actually, I think it worked out really well for us. Yes, absolutely. But yes, I got a call and I was like, all right, good to know. Any questions about that? I do have a few more binders, but like I said,
Yeah.
I was not gonna make copies of
No,
that.
no, no.
Y'all are more than welcome to come read them if you want to.
No, we don't do
It
that.
looks like the audit might have been requested September 15th of 22, because it says, we fulfilled our responsibilities as set out in the terms of the audit agreement dated September 15th of 2022.
Oh, sorry.
So if you start looking for something,
We start in September.
start in September.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Good deal.
All right, well, any other questions on that? Is it, on the review? Okay, next, items, 2023 event update discussion.
All right, so the first one up is Mural Fest, which I'm really excited about. This is gonna be this coming Saturday. we ran into a couple of issues where the footprint sort of changed at the last minute, but on our end, we were able to coordinate with the city. New permits were submitted and everything looks like it's good to go for this Saturday. The only thing is they say 60% chance of rain, so here we go.
I saw that.
And then graduation's all day.
Yes, and Mother's Day, but
Yeah, is there a way, when did it fall, when does it typically fall? Mural Fest?
this is the first one they've ever held.
Okay, I thought it started last year, but okay.
Oh, yeah, they didn't have it last year.
Yeah, no, I think they started talking about it because they said it took a year to plant.
That's what, okay.
Yeah.
You're all on jazz. Cool.
Oh yeah, it's looking great already.
Now, the way it's protected.
I'm getting more and more excited every day when I
Oh,
see
so
them.
Yeah.
John's building is remarkable,
Gorgeous.
just seeing
It
how that's
is.
coming together is,
Yeah.
that beautiful wall he has is just
And that-
remarkable, so.
And as far at how far they've gotten, and it's getting a lot of social media.
It is,
Oh,
it is.
So it's trending everywhere. So, and then there's a lot of events also. They've incorporated one at the Ector Theater. There's a grand reopening for one of the businesses that had originally gone through DOI for a facade grant, which is that My Catrina, sorry. And so there's a lot going on that day. So we're hoping to promote all of it and get people downtown all day long.
Second Street, right?
Yeah.
It's on Second Street, yeah. And then they have that one at the evening, and then the city's having a mother-son dance at the Marriott. So there's a lot going on downtown, and we're hoping to promote more, get people here all day long.
What's the footprint on that festival, again?
It was originally planned around the OC downtown, but because it wasn't finished on time, they've even had to change their ribbon cutting. So everything was flipped on the other side of Grant, which is going to be on 4th and Lee now.
And it's in the shape of a 4 for our 4 murals.
Oh,
That just sort of happened, but it is really neat, yeah. Yeah.
Fourth and E.
4th and Lee, we will be closing down some of the streets on Grant, close by like Izzy's and Mac Jack's, but and we'll be using the parking lot for the city municipal plaza. So a lot of that's going to be concentrated in that area. As far as Fandango, we are looking really good. My biggest concern last month was we don't have sponsorships, but they're coming through, and everybody told me to relax, and they're coming through, so I'm really excited about that. As of today, we have $21,500 in sponsorships
Oh, great.
coming in,
Great.
so still looking for some more, and we're working on a couple more bands and things like that, but everything looks like we're on time for this.
We've got everything set up for the fireworks display. Everything good?
Yes, that is ready to go. I had a meeting with the fencing company last week, so they have requested that they wanted additional fencing around the site where they launched fireworks last year. Last year, they keep telling me that they had barricades, but people were still walking up into the launch space.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my.
And so that was something that we've had several meetings, and we are going to go in a little bit, it'd probably be a little bit more for us to have to put more extra fencing, but the safety is the
It's
number
worth
one.
it. Absolutely.
So
That's
we,
great. I do scaffolds and caution tape, and they walk under the scaffolds.
yes.
You know, so it's,
Yeah, they said right before launching time that somebody walked up there and said, "Hey, I can do this too. You want some help?" And they're like, "No." So city fire marshal was not happy. So
I guess they thought they could hold it like a Roman candle.
just hold it and go. Yeah.
do you know the amount that we were at as far as sponsorships last year opposed to where we're at now? What?
I think we're really close to about the same as
Just
last
to be in a
year.
comfort zone, like you said, to know, okay, we're
hmm
getting close to what we had last year, so, but if we're way off, it's, now it's like.
Now it's the
start
time.
spinning,
No, I
start
think we're
finding-
right about where we were last time.
Okay.
I can tell you we have more vendors signed up this year. We're already at 30 vendors as
Really?
opposed to the 23 from last year.
Wow.
I think we're at 18 food trucks where we only had 17 last year. So I think we're on track.
That's good.
That's great.
Last month was a different story for me. I was panicking a little bit, but
Yes.
as of today, I feel a lot better about
Sure.
everything.
Sure.
It's starting to set and it's moving forward. So
What's your cap on food trucks?
when we extended the footprint an extra block, I feel comfortable. I've always been told that there was not enough food trucks. But I've also been
Yeah.
told that you'll never have enough food trucks, so I'm not sure about that. My vendors is where I'm starting to wonder if 30 would be enough, or we need to cap them off. I know that last year we had other events like like the city came in from the dog pound and they had events like that. So I'm thinking there was extra space that were maybe a little bit of fillers that I think it would be better with vendors, in my opinion.
I think extend it out, I think you can afford to add more, and you're right, last year it was not enough. Our tavern will be open this year,
Yes,
so that'll be there, but the more vendors, the better, because
Varieties.
they are paying fees to come into that.
yes,
Last year was the first time that Fandango ever made a profit, cause it's not really designed to make a profit, but it made a profit, so it sounds like this year we might be even on pace to make even better than what we did last year.
yeah.
So I would, as many vendors as you can get in, we did increase going another block over on 6th Street, correct?
Yes,
So I think we have more than enough space to really be able to add, because that was probably the biggest complaint we had last year, was it took people forever to get their food. And, they're food trucks, so they're making it as people order it, but, they didn't have enough compared, if we had 30,000 people at that event, you don't have enough, so I think the more the merrier.
yeah. And
Chick-fil-A was.
Yeah.
they've already signed up too, so,
Yeah.
yeah.
The
Yeah.
headline was
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we definitely need to do that.
We are putting a little bit more food trucks around the main stage because
Mhm.
that's a bit of a fight. Everybody wants to be there.
Yeah.
But I've talked to a couple people and they're like, oh yeah, you can fit more and more. So what I think we had like 3 last time. I think we're at 5 right now.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
we're pushing hard on these food trucks.
Just as just interesting comment, for Facebook, for the fair, they're doing 2 things. They're getting suggestions of what type of foods you would like to see. And then 2, they also have a sign up for the vendors who are directly through Facebook.
Okay,
Just comparison.
we can definitely work on that. Any other thing on the Fandango? Any suggestions, ideas?
The car show, we are moving that over towards 6, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you need both sides of the street or just on one?
I think we need both sides. Last year, keep in mind, we did that for free. My company bought all the trophies and everything, so people, I think this year, they were really happy about it because they got to enter an event for free and win trophies for free. So I think next year it's gonna grow bigger. It's possible, it could go from 6 back over to 5th. We could possibly have that many cars. I don't know if you wanna put a cap on that, if you want to, just kind of have a cutoff point. Because we're gonna get a lot of people entering that, after last year. I think we're gonna get quite a bit of people entering, so I think that we might wanna look at that number and see if we wanna kind of cap that off.
Do you recall the
because-
number last year?
Yeah,
'Cause it was all
we
on
had,
block.
yeah, it was our entire block on both sides of the street. I think it was a total of, I wanna say it was probably at least 50 cars, which isn't a whole lot for a regular car show, but for the street, it's a lot, so
Takes
if,
up a lot of space.
yeah, so if we wind up with
So we
100
probably need
cars.
so if we,
Yeah,
and if we're only doing the same amount of space, so you think 50 would probably be our cap again?
I think, yeah, if you're just doing 6th Street, that's perfectly
Yes.
fine, but if you wanna move it over to 5th, which I know you guys wanted to keep that open because it was a little bit, that was where a lot of the traffic was between 5th and 4th Street. I think it's probably good that we probably cap it off to the X amount of cars that we had last year. I'll ask my brother, he'll probably have a better number on that, I can't remember, it may have been a little bit more than that, but, let me check with him and see what those numbers are, but.
Also, did we do the enrollment of the car show for you?
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
we'll get
yes.
that going as well. Okay.
And all that registration is online? The registry?
Yeah, they did it all last year
Okay,
online.
I don't
don't
have
know.
that going
That's
yet, but I
stuff.
will get that going. We'll work on that this week. I'm
So-
glad you brought that up.
Cause we also had a few bikes.
Yeah, absolutely,
So
absolutely.
Perfect. All right, had a meeting with Odessa Arts for First Fridays because they're no longer going to be doing the hot summer nights. So it is now turning into First Fridays. That is set to be on the first Friday in August. We're still on track for the Lowriders Against Bullying. I've met with him and we're moving forward on getting all that going as well. The state of downtown, we still have that set for September the 14th. And as I get more details for that, I'll get that to y'all. Tacos and Tequila, I am working, I've already sent them the agreement for the partnership. I'm waiting for them. They said they were gonna send it to their legal so that they could read it over. So we're moving forward on that. As soon as they say they sign that and get that back to me, we'll move forward on the permits as well.
Okay.
Somebody texted, I agree.
Yeah, somebody was calling.
Yeah, I can. That work?
How are you?
All right. I won't touch that. Maybe it was me when I rocked it.
Getting to the tacos and tequila,
Mhm.
I know I brought that up in a couple of meetings, but last year a lot of the restaurants didn't want to participate because people were being blocked from getting to the restaurant because they had to pay the entry fees to get into the tacos and tequila. So what are we going to do to make sure that people can still enter those restaurants? Because I think the house was one of them in San Luis. People weren't, the tacos and tequila event, I think it was $30 a person. Well, they weren't gonna pay that $30 a person, then go eat at these restaurants, so they lost quite a bit of revenue on that. So we kind of have to make the event to where people can get to those businesses.
The footprint on that one completely moved over to they
That's what I
are
was
only pretty much using the two streets beside the parking lot by the courthouse.
By the courthouse, okay.
So all those businesses downtown will not be affected in any
Okay.
way, other than maybe more traffic downtown, but
Right.
I mean, that's okay. So they, I went to the, I met with them that day. They went to the court, county commissioner's court, and that day they approved both the lowriders and the tacos tequilas to be taking place pretty much on the courthouse parking lot.
Is that on Texas or the parking lot? Are you talking about like the?
We're talking about Texas and Third
That'd be set between second and third.
Like
By the
a
health
visitor
department.
parking lot?
By the
or
health
covered
department.
By the health
parking lot?
department.
No, by the health department, yes.
Yeah, over on Third. Okay.
Yes, so, that should take care of that issue from last year. It's not gonna block any of the streets other than primarily there, and I believe that's pure, it's the court, it's gonna be the post office, really.
Okay.
And one of the, bonds there on the corner.
Okay.
Might be a little bit more, but, they'll still have a way to get to the Bell's bonds and things
That's
like that. Mhm.
Cool.
Let's see, the West Texas Fest, at the last play committee that we had, I was informed by somebody that was there that they were no longer going to host this downtown. And that was news to me, so I said, okay, well, I'm gonna reach out to them and see what's going on. But later that day, I saw that they had posted it. They are moving it to, I think, Ranch 7, I don't remember which one it is.
Out there on 920.
Yes, so they're no longer going to have that with us downtown.
Who was that?
Is that the Ellen Noella Museum?
Yeah, no, but yeah,
Well,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
yeah, it does.
It's a lot of sense.
So far, I don't really have anything for the treats on the street. We know it's gonna be, of course, at the same time, but we just haven't moved forward on that one. And the parade of lights is the same way. We know what day we're gonna hold it, but just haven't moved forward on that right now. Any questions on those?
We're good.
All right, so on the old business, I know we talked about this a little bit a while ago, but I just wanted to make sure y'all knew that we did set up that money market account on March the 9th, and that's where we see that interest that came in on that one. The Easter that we had set up for the 4th, 5th, and 6th was a great success. We ran out of the 40,000 eggs by in 2 days, so this is something that we need to order more eggs and maybe cut it down a day in the future, but
Yeah.
we are still being told how great they thought it was.
Huge.
It was a
It was
huge
huge.
event. I don't know if y'all were downtown. I know Kira would call me and said, I'm out. And I'm like, I'm on my way.
We were closed on Tuesday and everybody was coming up to the door. Bang, 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 bang. Like, everybody was sitting at the door like, hey, we need an egg, and and we opened it up for a little while because we were still putting up all of the artwork and everything, and so they were just banging on that door, and so finally we opened it up for a little while and we started handing out eggs, and then we course, the next couple of days we were open, so we handed them all out then, but yeah, that first day, it was unbelievable, and even after 4 o'clock, the traffic was remarkable. You know, there were, I'm gonna say it, there were a lot of kids that probably should have been in school.
Did I not
Yes,
say that?
yes,
Uh-huh.
I had a
The
conversation
teacher
with,
me, I was like,
yeah,
go to
Kara,
school.
I'm like, no,
Yeah.
Kara, this is
Right.
good, this is a good thing. She's
Yeah.
like, but I'm a teacher.
Yeah.
But
They're not in
here's,
class.
here's the thing though, after 4 o'clock, you saw a significant amount of people come out with their children,
Yes.
so it was still very busy even after 4, so there were
Yes.
a select few that kids were a little suspect. I'm like, that kid could be 5, kid could be 4, maybe a big 4-year-old, but you know, it was kind of in that gray area, it was kind of hard to tell, but it was a huge turnout. I can tell you, just watching the amount of people walking down Grant Street was just
It was
unbelievable.
crazy.
I told Kara, I said, they're homeschooled.
Yeah.
I did have a
I'm like,
lot
don't
that
knock this
would-
event, it's great, Kara,
Yeah,
it's
they would
homeschool
bring their
kids,
little
it's
ones.
homeschool.
Then they after school, they brought their older
Older
children
kids.
as well. It was the same people that knew that. So, I mean, it was, they were coming downtown. It was bringing people downtown. It's very cool.
Yeah, I think it's a great event, I think
Yeah,
it was
it's
great.
huge. Oh yeah, it's
So,
huge.
we might have a little tweaks for next year, but hey, I think it's good.
And we did have a huge response. People did not realize that we were a restaurant, you know, sports bar. They thought it was
Just a
primarily
more,
a
a bar.
bar, yeah. Yeah, so it's a huge difference.
We would ask them when they would come into ours, and we're like, "So how's it going?" "Oh, great! I just had lunch at the homemade ones. I didn't know there was food at the tavern." So, I think it really did serve its purpose.
It
Oh,
did.
absolutely,
It did.
absolutely it did.
Let's see the update on the JCPenney lot. That one, the city actually opened up that land as a bid. So that will close on, I believe, on the 30th of no, actually, that's due by tomorrow at 3:30. So we should have an idea of what's going to take place on that empty lot moving forward. I'm sorry, I don't know why I said 3:30. So all the bids have to be in by 3:30, and then they open them up at 4 tomorrow. So that's a good thing. I knew that I reached out personally to 4 different interested parties for it. So I don't know once it hit the media what the response was at the end of that. And as far as the grants and where we're at, that Amber Law is still the one on this list, but they have a for sale sign on there. I'm going to have to talk to legal because we've tried everything. We have called, we have emailed. We know there's another office in New Mexico. I don't know if that closed as well. We're not getting anything. But I drive by there and it's closed. It has a for sale sign, so.
And let me ask this, and forgive me if I'm wrong, but I know that, you know, that she passed away, and that they've kind of, obviously they're not continuing with the office, but with the grants, don't they have to be open an X amount of time also?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
wants it canceled. He doesn't want
Yeah.
to request the money,
Uh-huh.
but legal is asking us for a written letter.
Oh,
So
written
they
letter
can
from
close
them.
that.
So they can close it out,
Yeah.
and that's where I'm struggling. It's
I
just,
got you.
if I
Yeah,
could
just
even get an
decide.
email response from somebody at that
Wow.
office to say, yes, we closed. So that's where our hang up is, and
Well,
that's why it still stays on this list,
yeah.
because I just haven't been able to
Yeah.
reach anybody. If I could just get hey, we're closed, what are you
Well,
talking
I
about?
wonder
I
if-
think I could turn it into legal.
Yeah, I wonder if it falls under that category that they did not fulfill the part of.
I
being
can look
open
at that
X
as
amount of
well.
time. You might be able to do it that way.
I might be
So,
able to do it at that point now, because it has been several months. I can definitely look into that one. And let's see, the pediocardio, we're going to go back to ODC and ask for a 6-month extension. I spoke with him the other day. He told me he feels like he needs another 4 months. But with construction, we know that could be a little bit longer, but every time we go ask for an extension, it's 6 months. So I'm ready to do that next month to give him a little bit more time. He's really excited. He told me that they have the roof in, they have the AC, they've rewired everything. I was even more excited when I talked to him about what he was planning on putting in there. He said he's had initial talks with like Pork and Pig, and he's trying to bring them over to open up on the first floor, and then the second floor would be offices.
Wow.
So I was very excited about that. He said he's talked to the cook and they like the space, but he's trying to set down a time to speak with the owner. So
Where is that one located?
It's the
Nurses
Nurses Unlimited building.
Okay, Grant and like 7th-ish?
No, they're off of is it Lincoln?
It's Lincoln and.
Lincoln and
Fifth.
5th.
Okay.
So I got really excited after talking to him the other day. Let's see, Little Mac Jacks. We have submitted the paperwork for the infrastructure. We're still waiting on the facade on that one. Homemade wines, we've already done the facade. We're waiting on the infrastructure. We should have those checks this Friday. And par 2, got the green light to move forward to move with the facade. We got that squared away. And then of course Icon is done.
Yes, okay. Anybody have any comments or suggestions? I do have one, on the barriers, what have we heard, or, I know we were looking at buying.
The barricades?
Barricades, yeah.
We actually have them already here.
Haven't? Fantastic.
And I just picked up the stickers that are going to be placed on both sides of the barriers. And I handed that over to
Good.
Streets this morning, and they're gonna start putting those on.
What do they say?
So for on Saturday's event, we will have the barriers that we purchased with our stickers on them. So everything just sort of worked out. The timing was really
Does it
well.
say DOI on it, or what does it say?
It's gonna say downtown Odessa.
Very
Oh,
cool.
fantastic.
Very cool. Oh,
Fantastic.
like this?
Yes, that's the one.
Yay.
It's about this big, and it's gonna go
I love
right in
that.
between the two openings.
I was
So-
gonna suggest Magic Clay's like hotel. I guess downtown Odessa
Put all
works.
those
I don't know.
stickers on.
You can't do that, just
We
put
start
little
putting
stickers all
stickers.
around.
Yeah, we're more than welcome to do that after.
But okay. downtown
Let's
Odessa's
do
good.
the downtown one first.
Fantastic. Yeah, I didn't see that on there,
As
so I
long
was
as it's
curious.
not
what it was.
bigger.
Yeah, that's
That's
fine.
great.
Yeah,
That's
yeah. So
great.
no, we have them.
That will save us a lot of money.
That was 100 of
Yes,
them
it
that were
will.
We're
ordered.
paying a lot of money on
Yes,
that,
we
a
were.
lot of money, so I think that's gonna
Yeah.
benefit us.
Actually, not on the barricade, just on delivery.
Yeah, just on delivery.
It was
Yeah.
the delivery that
Yeah.
Barricades were cheaper than.
Yeah.
but the
Oh,
streets
it's
move
crazy.
and the fire feels. So
Oh, after 4 events, they'll pay for themselves. So,
Absolutely.
Yeah, so it's a
Yeah.
That's
great deal.
so
Great
and
deal.
when we reach out to these partnered events and you tell them we have the barricades,
Uh-huh.
they are just so excited about it.
It's
Nice.
just one less thing.
One less
Yeah.
thing on their list that
Yeah.
they have to take
With
care
our
of.
partnered events, do we charge them anything for that, or we just?
We have not discussed that. That was actually one that I did miss on that one, but they wanted to know if we were also open to leasing them or renting them to other events that are not partnered with downtown.
Ah,
Yes.
not a bad
Sounds
idea.
Is that
It's not a bad idea.
not a bad idea? Okay.
And cities putting all those out, or do volunteers have to come and put all those?
No, that's the city.
The city.
out? Okay,
So say if you were to lease these out, do all these funds go directly back to downtown DOI, or does it go?
That's what I don't know really too much. When he asked me, I said, right now, we're just gonna do the deal at our partnered events, just because anything that we go through us, the city, we partner with the city, streets and traffic and the fire department. But these other events, they would have to have somebody, they would have to partner with them outside of us
Yeah.
to get the streets and the fire department involved. And so I don't know how that would work. So, but if y'all are open to that, then I can definitely look
Absolutely.
into
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We purchased them, so
Yeah.
I mean, they would
to
belong
make some money off of
DOI.
them.
Yeah.
I can check to see how
Yeah.
that would work on the logistics side, because
Yeah.
you still have to have the city side
Yeah.
having to deliver them and then fire filling them.
Are they numbered so that we know exactly how many and what number goes missing?
No, they're not
They
numbered, but
do.
that's a really good
There we
idea.
go.
Well,
There we
it's
go.
real easy then to
I love
say one on this,
Uh-huh.
you get a map and you know.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I would probably spray paint with stencils, spray paint
Yes,
those
make it
on.
really
That's-
clear.
Yeah, we put stickers on there, they can still,
Peel it off.
yeah, so I would say that would
I
be the
love that.
idea.
Okay, that's a great idea. Absolutely, we can definitely take care of that.
Lease them out.
Yeah, I'll
One
talk
time,
to
that's
them.
about 2 more.
Right,
Yes.
yeah, absolutely, we could have more. Good.
And one that did not make it on here just because I just met with Odessa, Discover Odessa, and this meeting was just yesterday. But they also want to partner with us in August the 29th. They are bringing down Team Texas, which is an organization that when they take interest in your community, they're going to promote it nationwide to bring businesses in. And so they're sort of having this event for their main members to come down to Odessa, sort of show them what we're about, and then hopefully we can get on their list of where they start promoting Odessa.
That'd be
So
cool.
is it a charge? Tell me about that.
It's a partnered event with them. I don't think
No,
it's,
I'm sorry, do you know anything about the company that they're wanting to show us off to?
no, I don't know. That's
That's
something,
what I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah.
What is the name of the company?
it's Team Texas.
Team, like we were team.
Team Texas,
It's a good name.
And if you look at their, I did look up their,
Nothing's free in life, you know?
no, I looked it up too before, in their website, it said their mission was to promote job creativity, increase investment and economic diversity. So, if there's a fee, I don't know, that's
Sure, no,
sort
I
of
get
to
it.
them, so.
Or
One more thing,
Yeah.
do we need to vote as far as taking John off the signature?
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, we do. So, since we've had those resignations, we need to, also, we have to verify if we've already had the 2 replacements, then we need to make sure that they get sworn in next time. And then, the one thing we do need to do today, if we can, is go ahead and remove,
Yeah, I'm trying.
John,
as a
not
sign.
Sean, I'm looking at John from the ability to sign checks so that we can add Sean.
And we still have the 2 people
We
we're
have
taking off.
Anthony, well, we have,
Are you on?
I believe they assigned, Craig Stoker and, Bradley Marquez, correct, to the board?
I was,
Yes.
yeah. I
So
was
we
told
just-
about
Craig,
Craig,
but I
I
don't
wasn't
know
know
about-
about Bradley.
I was
Yeah.
the other.
Yeah, Bradley is supposed to be, they're supposed to put him on, so I don't know if they actually did at the last meeting or not. So
Yeah, the only one that I had heard was Craig, so
It could be tonight.
it could be tonight, so. And that's probably on the next meeting, we can make sure that they get sworn in.
Okay.
But for now, so that we have more than just 2 of us that can sign for checks, that way we can move that motion.
We have Anthony already.
We have Anthony and I can sign as well, so as of right now, we can sign checks if we need to,
Mhm.
but it's also a really good idea to have that 3rd person in there.
Okay.
So, I guess we can make that, can you make that a motion to remove John and add Sean?
Yeah, motion to remove John Harridge from, signatures, on checks with, is it Southwest Bank?
Southwest Bank.
Okay,
Yeah, no,
Motion.
with that.
all right, motion approved, to remove John. I guess we need to add somebody.
Now we need to do a motion to add Sean as the signer for, yes.
You wanna do it, Tish?
Sure, I make a motion to add Sean to the signer's card for the bank account.
I'll second that.
Is that what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I think. I like that, Tish, that's good. Okay, all right, motion approved.
All right, good stuff.
Anyone opposed? No? All the empty chairs? All right, I guess it's approved, so I guess, the time right now is 11:54.
Nice.
Meeting adjourned.
We covered a
We
lot.
knocked that out pretty quick.
How's
Okay,
Team Texas?
So Team Texas, they have members. So there's a membership you join.
How much is a membership?
I don't know, I haven't made it that far, sorry. I'm looking at their front page is quite extensive. They have regions and member
Fell at one point.
projects and wins. Okay, they have member projects like
It fell
skiing,
once and I picked it up.